Hey guys, tonight is Sazin here. I'm gonna make a video today about how my douchebag coach that I had for Little Gritters for the last 2 years. So to start this out with, about my fifth grade year. My fifth grade year, I had this new coach. His name's gonna be let's call him. Yeah, it's called Coach. Well, so Coach, I just remember him. Like I had him for uh, basketball for like this one basketball week upwards. He was my coach one year. Seemed like a pretty nice guy and all that. But then in football, he was just just. I understand in football you're supposed to like not be a nice coach. Like it's not good to be all lovey-dovey and all that. But he was just all around like always mean, like a jerk and stuff. And I remember one of our practices, like we were like watching the junior high and we were like messing around for practice, and then he yelled at us, and then we had to run extra laps because we were messing around. Well, it's like, well, who cares? We're trying to have fun before our practice. And yeah, and like really much after the first year wasn't really bad. And then I remember our second year, I have one of my friends that's actually staying night here. He man, so he was like going to sign up, and he's kind of like on his family's like kind of like they know a lot of Amish people, and they're farm people, like not really farm people, but his grandparents were. But so he like comes out and just says like, oh it's just like a farmer cause he lost 2 fingers when he was at his grandparents. He lost 2 fingers at his grandparents when he was like yelling at a horse or animal to like move or something, or this machine that was cutting grain, and like it sliced his fingers off. Well, it didn't really hurt him at all, but he was like saying like like a farm boy or an Amish kid to have like missing 2 fingers. And it was really messed up. Like you shouldn't have said that at all. And he said it even when he was listening. It was really messed up. And so then like later that year, like it was our first practice we had, and I remember because he was like asking like anybody want to try this to play quarterback, and I said I did, and then he's like, oh, you're too fat. And I'm like, what? I'm like thinking in my head like, wow, what a great coach calling one of his players fat, even though I was his best player on his team, so I wouldn't know why he was calling me fat, because I was the only blocker we had. Wouldn't let me play on defense because I had a growth plate in my knee. And he lets his son play quarterback, which I'm not allowed to say his name because that's against like YouTube's policy and all that, which I gotta respect that. But like he's got twins, his sons. And one of them did start. One of them was our quarterback, which he was not good at all. He's like completely terrible. And because like the reason he's terrible, because when he would fumble, he would just look at the ball. Yeah. And then I remember the year before he let this one kid, Carson. I can't say his name actually. I'm gonna have to blank that out. But he let this one kid. He let this one kid, he did this one guard reverse the year before, and I remember when we were like saying this one thing, I was like, oh, can we do the guard reverse with me since it's my last year? Because he was always trying to get the 6th graders to score a touchdown. But he didn't let me at all, and then it was kind of a douche move, like you let another person year before do it, and I was expecting be able to do it since it was my last year, but then he's like, no. And I remember like when they said something about like we're gonna let somebody run a play, and then he says about this one kid that I'm friends with. He was in a grade below me, so he still had another year of football in Little Gritters. And they let him play. They let him do it because he has never asked, and everybody's like, what? like everybody's just confused about it, saying like he always asks. And he's like, no, he doesn't. And like, oh, like, yeah, he like always asks. And you got me, he was like never asked at all. Like even the coach was saying he always asked. And yeah. So that was another thing. Wouldn't let me do that. But he was letting a kid younger than me that was playing the running back this year. But that, he did get hurt, I'm pretty sure. I think he broke his arm. But yeah. He was just a really jerk all the time. Like if something bad happened, like he would let me play like defense like the first half or the first quarter or something. And then he really didn't let me play, but when I did play, I remember it was like our first game, and like I went to tackle this kid, I missed the tackle. And the reason I missed the tackle is because this kid was like big, like it was so hard to wrap around him. And like literally when I missed the tackle, they literally had to have like a bunch of other players come and tackle him. That's how big this kid was. And yeah, so he was leaning on me and stuff. And then he like pulls me out after like a few more drives, defense, and even though I was like having like a bunch of tackles, I almost got that. Yeah, I was destroying their offense, and every time they went to my side, they'd gain yards. Every time they went to the other side, they would gain yards, and they didn't get that many yards when on defense. I mean, on offense. The whole time, but yeah, he pulled me out after like a few drives. We were up by like 21 points. Then he decides to put this other kid in that I really hate. Like he's a really douche. Like we have like when we play basketball, I always steal the ball from him. He's always like trying to tackle me and stuff or push me around. And every time he goes up for a shot, he misses. Like, oh, foul. But then he puts this kid in, and then he just does nothing. They run it to his side. He misses tackles every time. He doesn't contain. I was playing at defensive end, which you're supposed to contain. Which if he was containing, he was doing a terrible job of it. But so yeah, it was like doing terrible. Wasn't doing what he's supposed to do. Playing like complete garbage. Or I'm just like sitting on the sidelines in the game. Like they scored like 21 points. The game got pretty close. But luckily, since I was a star offensive lineman, they always ran to my side. No one would always get the linebacker, and so that like the whole time, every time he pulled me out, our defense would just go to crap. And even though our defense had the like least points scored, it was because when I actually came in and he played, they didn't really score at all, and they ran my side. It was my last year, and I was like, man, he thought because I had a bad knee because I had a growth plate and it was hurting to run. But by the time the season started, like our first game, my knee wasn't even hurting. It was really stupid. I just remember there was this one time we had a game. It was against our like arch rivals, like our high schools, like the third rivals called Meadville, and we were playing them in a game. It was like a really like their team was undefeated. They had like the best quarterback. They had the more scoring offense. Like their quarterback would just carry their team, and they had this great offensive line, and this great defensive line. And we ran this one play where I had to like pull over, get this one kid. I didn't get there in time because we're supposed to double this kid. I didn't get there in time, and our center didn't block him. And so I went to block him, but by the time I got there, he like picked up our running back and tackled him. And then like he got thrown into me, like mostly he didn't get thrown into me, but kind of body did, like his legs did, and his foot hit me in my wiener. And when he hit me there, it was like ooh. And then I was like telling him that like one of these practices we had, and he's like, oh, I might be better off without any more brains. And I'm just like, wow. And like he was saying how he was such a good player in high school, which my dad went to high school with him. He was like he wasn't even that good of a football player. I'm pretty sure he didn't come until like his maybe senior or like junior year when a guy got hurt. And yeah, he just really wasn't a really good player. Like, he was pretty lazy. Like when you most see some coaches will like run with you at practices, like when you're running your lap or something, or like when you're running sprints, they'll run with you. But he was like still a big guy. He wouldn't run with us. It's kind of sad when you think of that. And he was like kind of an all-around jerk. Like, I remember this one time, his son fumbled the ball. Like, he like completely fumbled the ball. And I remember me picking it up. And like we lost a few yards and he like blames it on me. Because his son fumbled and I picked it up. And I got tackled as soon as I picked it up. So then he's like, Braden, what were you doing? And I'm like, I was going for the ball. And he just keeps mad at me because I fumbled. I got tackled behind the line and I picked up a fumble because his son fumbled. So yeah, like a lot of the parents don't really like him because he was just a douchebag to all the kids. Thinks his son was really great, and we had this one kid that was playing quarterback that was a fourth grader, and he was really fast. Like we could really put up a lot of. We probably would have won a lot of games if he was playing our quarterback all the time. But he wasn't our quarterback, which was a dumb decision. But our coach wanted his son to be the starting quarterback, which I say was probably dumb. Something dumb. That was the dumbest thing he probably did. And so like because we like had him starting for a little, and we played like a scrimmage against this one team, and I remember that we had this play for him where he would just like run the ball like on a sweep, a quarterback sweep, and he runs it. He like is untouched, just zooming away, no one like near him at all, and then he just doesn't let him play, and it's like everybody's confused, like why he's not playing quarterback, why he's letting his son play quarterback. Like like I said, his son's not very good. Both of his sons are not good at all. Like they're really bad. And like when we're doing hitting drills, I completely destroy them. I always get yelled at. I always got yelled at by him. I'm like, I don't care. It's my last year. It's because your sons are being big babies because they're getting hit hard. I truly don't care. I was like, what's gonna happen? It's not like I'm gonna be here next year because if I get held back, I won't be able to play. But yeah, so like every time we would like hit, we would just like I would just destroy him. And I remember he would it was always with me and my friends, my friends I had like friends that like didn't like his sons, didn't like him. So and like it was like he like knew all my friends, and so every time we would like destroy his like sons or something, he like if we were the ones if he knew we were the ones that were like doing it, like if we were the ones doing it, like we would have to run a lap if somebody like got a few yards, like got past the line or something, we would have to run a lap around the field. And I remember this one time, it was the funniest thing I think I've ever seen. Like I made a lot of people laugh. I even made this one coach laugh. I like come up and like I just got really mad after I ran a lap, and I had to go against one of his sons, and oh my gosh, I lit him up. Like I power drived him. Like he was like crying, and I'm like, just quit it, you little baby. And then he was like, oh, I quit that. You have to run 3 laps. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, because your son's being a little baby, and I called him one because I power drived him. He's got to learn to take a hit. because he's probably gonna have to play for us next year because you don't have really anybody that good anymore. I just like every time I had to run laps, I'm like, I don't even care. It's my last year. I could care less. So yeah. Yeah, he was always making me and my friends run laps when we would hit his kids hard or something. Like truly, me and all my friends, we didn't care because it was our last year. And it's like, we truly don't care. If your son's gonna be a little baby about it, we truly won't care. Like, he shouldn't be a big baby about it, and all that. But, this video, I might have to end it. I'm gonna have to end it soon, but, yeah, like, he was always a jerk and all that, and, yeah. Make sure to like and subscribe, and, yeah.